Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ange if you haven't met me before, and today we're gonna do some repotting. So I asked you guys on my Instagram and also on YouTube if you had any questions for me, planty or personal, and I thought that I would answer a few of those while I get some repotting done. So the first plant I'm actually going to be repotting today is my Philodendron Micans cuttings. You may have seen me haul this maybe like a month or two ago, I want to say. I feel like all the days are kind of meshing together while I'm just at home every day. But they are ready to be repotted. They have a lot of different roots. So look at all these healthy, fat roots. So I'm going to be popping those up into soil today. Even though I know it's winter, I shouldn't repot things, but whatever, we're going to do it anyway. I also have all my soil pre-mixed in a bowl. It's a mixture of charcoal, perlite, potting mix, and a little bit of orchid bark. I didn't really have much left, so it's kind of just whatever I had left. I don't really use a strict formula. I kind of just dunk them all in, and if it looks chunky, it's good for me. So let's have a look at the first question. I have them all on my old phone because I film on my phone. The first question is from Elijah, and they ask, how did you get into houseplants, and over time, what would you say changed from the beginning into now? All right, so I started getting into houseplants, I would say like 2.5-ish years ago. My boyfriend lived in a really gross house. Like, it was 3 boys and it was pretty much just sad. And I would spend a lot of my time over there. So I asked him if we could get some plants for the house just to, you know, liven it up. I thought I was going to get some succulents, but I ended up getting like a bunch of different like easy care house plants. And then I slowly just started getting more immersed into YouTube and Instagram, and now I have way too many plants. Now I would say I'm more into getting the harder to find kind of plants just because I like the chase. But yeah, that is my story on how I got into plants. So with these Micans cuttings, this one doesn't look super hot, but it has some roots. So I'm just gonna pot it up anyway, see how it goes. I'm just gonna clump them all together, just like that, holding the stem. I'm gonna put the stem inside. I think that looks cute, right? And I'm just gonna backfill. So I'm really bad at like making plants look good. The next question is from Sarah, and she says, how did you become a plant lover and which plant is your favorite? So I kind of already answered how I got into plants, but my favorite, that's so hard. It's like asking you to pick a favorite child. Ooh, okay, I'm gonna have to go with, I would say my Hoya obovata is one of my favorites, definitely. It is gorgeous. And also my Tai constellation Monstera, because I wanted that for so long, and then I got it for Christmas, so it's definitely a special plant for me. All right, so that is the first plant all potted up. This is my little Micans. You can see we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cuttings in there. So hopefully that, you know, does its thing soon, but that is looking good. The next plant I'm going to repot is this sad Persian Shield. You probably saw this in my plants that I'm struggling with video, and I've decided to pot it up into plastic because a lot of people told me that it did not like terracotta. So I'm just going to take it out of the pot, and I'm going to just reuse the soil into the new plastic pot. But the next question is from Maggie from Rooted in Plants, and she has a channel as well, so I'll link it down there for you. And she asked me what is my least favorite plant in my collection. Gotta say, it might be this guy. That's tough. Okay, yeah, my Persian Shield, and also my ruby rubber tree, because I don't know, it just doesn't spark joy for me, so don't judge. I know I need to do a plant purge soon, but it's hard when you've like been growing them for a while and you don't really want it, you don't want to like give up on it. It's a tricky one, isn't it? So I've just potted up my Persian Shield into some plastic. So hopefully that holds on to moisture a little bit more and it won't be crinkly and gross. So the next plant I'm going to be repotting is this Monstera Adansonii, and you can see the roots. The roots are going crazy, going out of the pot. So this definitely needs to be done. It's quite large. I've also got a moss pole for it, hopefully to help mount it up. So I've got a bowl. I'm just gonna loosen the sides of the pot and dunk the old soil in here. You don't want to be too aggressive that it's gonna like break things. I just vacuumed, so this was like probably not a good idea. Oh my god, it's stuck. All right, so while I untangle this, I'm gonna answer another question. So Eve has a few questions for me. One of them is, what is your heritage? So I am half Chinese and half Turkish. Definitely a strange mix. So I actually got this Adansonii as 2 different cuttings, and I bought them at different times, so they're 2 different plants. And I pretty much just chopped it up into nodes so that I could make a bushier plant. So if you have a plant and it's not looking super full and bushy, you can always just chop it and propagate it so that it looks more full in the future. And yeah, this was one that I propagated and now it's got quite a few leaves. This is why I've been putting it off, because I don't like repotting vining plants. They're so annoying. All right, so that is about as untangled as we're gonna get. So I'm just gonna put that there for a second. And I'm going to put it in terracotta. So I'm gonna fill it up a bit. When I'm repotting, I like to fill a few inches up from the bottom first. Okay. I am also gonna get my moss pole. So this is the moss pole I made in my recent video. If you haven't seen it, I'll link it up the top. It was just me experimenting, seeing how to actually make a moss pole, because I hadn't made one before and I think it turned out quite well. So we're just gonna put that into the side. And Eve also asked me what I do for work. That is a long-winded question. So I am, at the moment, I am a makeup artist. So I did do university and I did a Bachelor of Medical Science, and I did the degree and then I did my honors, which is basically just like a research year. And then I realized that I didn't actually want to do research, which was a little, it's tough, because not that I don't like science research, it's very disappointing. Like, so little money goes towards medical research and grants and things like that, and I didn't really want to feel disappointed all the time. So I'm kind of I just kept working as a makeup artist, because I was doing that before I went to uni, and I'm kind of just figuring out what I want to do for my life. I am trying to get into med school, but we're gonna see how that goes. But it is definitely a long process and something that's going to take a lot of study. So yeah, short story, I'm a makeup artist. So I'm just gonna wrap it around now and I will show you guys what that looks like at the end.
Your love is rated X. That means you're extra.
So I finished repotting and that is looking cute. That was quite time consuming. I don't know if I'm gonna want to do that again anytime soon. So let's hope that it is happy on that pole, chilling for a while. And the last plant I'm going to be repotting is my Philodendron Birkin, and it is quite pot bound. Like, it gets dry every few days, so I'm feeling like she needs to be repotted. It's in terracotta, so I'm just going to go around the edges and just loosen up the sides. This is the only problem with terracotta, is that always the roots get stuck to the side, and if you've got plastic, you could just squeeze them out. And you want to do this pretty gently, otherwise you're going to be cutting off a lot of roots. So we have a big root ball. It's not super duper pot bound, but I feel like because it was in terracotta, it was drying out very quickly. There are actually 3 different plants in here. I was thinking, should I separate them? No, I think I'm just gonna leave them how they are. But I'm gonna be popping it into here because I'm kind of sick of watering it. That looks, it's okay. It's a little bit too big. I wouldn't normally put a plant in a pot that's too big, but YOLO, you gotta risk it, right? So Eve also asked me what is my dog's story, and Cash doesn't really have too much of a story, to be honest. I got him from a lady near Dubbo. He's not a rescue dog, even though I do believe that rescuing is the best thing to do. My old dog was a rescue dog. I didn't have that puppy phase with my old dog, so I kind of just wanted to have that again. I know that's selfish, but it is the truth. Yeah, I got him when he was about 8 weeks old, and he is the love of my life. He actually has anxiety. So yeah, that's a thing. He has anxiety. He's on medication for his anxiety. So Sophie asked how old I am, and I am 27. I know, it's actually like scary how quickly you get older after high school. Like, I remember thinking that high school, I was so old and I couldn't wait to be in like my 20s and being able to drink, but now like every birthday that goes by is just so quick. So it's crazy. It's crazy. Like 30 is my scary age, to be honest. But that's okay, you know, we all age. It's gonna be fine. All right. Because the pot is quite large, I ended up planting it quite low in there, so it probably starts about here. So I didn't want to put it in too big of a pot, because then it would just take ages to dry out, and that can cause root rot and all these things. That reminds me, Sue asked me, can you transplant a pot in too large of a pot to something smaller? And that is definitely, I find that when I'm buying plants from like Bunnings or even any nurseries, sometimes they put them in these massive pots and the root system is tiny in comparison to that. So I always repot into something smaller. So don't be afraid to downsize a pot. In this case, I'm going to put it into a little bit of a too large pot, and I'm okay with that. But yeah, so we've got my Philodendron Birkin all potted up. I've got my little Persian Shield. I've got my Micans. And I've got my Adansonii on a pole, which I'm so happy about. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little chatting video from me. If you did, then definitely hit the thumbs up and hit subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. All right, bye.
Your love